Hi, in this lesson, we're going to take a look at using keyboard shortcuts to navigate through a document here in Microsoft Word. We have this document open, and if we come down here to the lower left, we see it says page 1 of 3. This is a 3-page document. And if I need to go through it, I can scroll through like this. I'm just using the scroll wheel on my mouse, and I can scroll through all the way. In a short document like this, that's probably just fine. But if you have a longer document, sometimes that's not the quickest or most efficient way. You can also use the scroll bar over here on the right to go up and down to various places in the document. But we also have the ability to use keyboard shortcuts. You'll see that I have my insertion point here right at the beginning, the very first space before the word Elevare Skills. Now, on my keyboard, I have 4 arrow keys, up, down, left, and right. If I use the right arrow key, you'll see every time I click it, it takes me over 1 space. If I use the left key, you might have already guessed, it takes me back 1 space. If I use the down arrow, notice that it takes me down 1 line in my document. And if I use the page up, it takes me back up 1 line in my document. Now, if I go ahead and I click here, let's say I click right here next to the word it's. If I use the down arrow, it keeps me essentially in the same spot going up and down using those down and up arrows. And if I hold down my right arrow, instead of clicking, just hold it down, you'll see it just keeps moving me forward quickly. The same thing if I use the left arrow and hold it down, it takes me back. If I use a modifier key with these arrows, I'll get something else. By holding down the control key and then using the down arrow, watch what happens. It takes me to the beginning of the next paragraph. And if I use control arrow up, it takes me back up to the previous paragraph. Same way, if I use control right arrow, it takes me to the beginning of the next word. See that? And if I use control left arrow, it takes me to the beginning of the previous word. So some keyboard shortcuts using arrow keys. Now, above my arrow keys, I have 6 more keys. Insert, home, page up, delete, end, and page down. We're going to take a look at home, end, page up, and page down. Again, I'm here at the beginning of this first line. And if I use the end key, notice that it takes me over here to the end of that first line. And you can probably guess, if I use the home key, it takes me to the beginning of that first line. And that'll happen in any sentence, any line, anywhere in any paragraph. I'm going to click here, get my insertion point in front of the word lead. If I use home, it takes me back to the beginning of that line. And if I use end, it takes me to the end of that line. Now, we have the page up and page down key, and they sound like they'll take you to the next page in your document. And just using them alone won't exactly do that. If I use page down, watch what happens. You'll see here I'm at the beginning. I want you to look at the last line that we can see, the last complete line. We have created targeted content such as blog posts, social media updates, and webinars. Okay, right? Now let's go back to the beginning and let's use page down. Page down takes me so that that line is now at the top of my page. Page up and page down give me a new screen view, a new screen page, what I can see here in this window. So if I use page down, you see it takes me down 1 screen view at a time. Let's scroll back up. But if I use Control Page Down, it takes me to the beginning, the first line in that second page. If I use Control Page Down again, it takes me to the first line in that third page. And as you might have guessed, Control Page Up will take me up to the beginning of the previous page. Now, let's go ahead, let's go page down, and let's get to the very end of my document here, the last space after the period. If I use Control Home, it'll take me all the way back up to the beginning of my document, no matter how long it is. And if I use Control End, it takes me back to the end of my document. So there are a few keyboard shortcuts to help you navigate through documents in Word. That's it in this lesson. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.